live. Alright, I said I wasn't going to do one of these again for a while. But I decided to go for it anyway. It's actually, I'm kind of glad I did, because now I see that you can schedule it. So I scheduled 30 minutes in advance, and it should have been in YouTube notifications. And I guess we're going to see whether or not anybody got that or not, that little notification. And anyway, the main reason why is because I want to talk about some, I guess, kind of personal shit. Address what have been happening recently. And I wanted to do it on YouTube, but I didn't really, want to make a separate video about it. So I figured I would do a live stream, so that way I could kind of talk about it real quick and maybe answer any questions. Okay, 12 people in so far. So we're doing phenomenally better than last time we tried this. All right, also, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to get to the storytelling. And then right after I finish my little storytelling, we can talk whatever you guys want to talk about. I don't care. I'm up for whatever questions. Maybe a little bit of news to add, maybe, or maybe I'll just talk about that later. Probably talk about it later. So anyway, the whole thing is I wanted to address is recently with the whole the 23-second video I threw up there, and my tendency to fucking lash out at people from time to time. There's always one superhero guy who pops on and be like, well, bro, you should just ignore those people, be the bigger man. I'm like, honestly, do you guys not realize the amount of people that I fucking ignore? Do you not realize the amount of people that I just I toss out or brush off or, whatever? So, what it is that you guys, this isn't you don't see YouTube the way I see YouTube, because it's not like your personal Facebook. I don't see that your notifications when you get them. I don't see your personal notifications, so I don't know all the comments or inboxes or whatever that you guys get, just like same way you don't see mine. So my YouTube comments or whatnot, or they fill up a decent amount, especially of course if I upload a new video. But even shit from a year ago, I have one, my flex home video is my most famous and most hated on video, because I made it, and I was joking around and I made some stupid jokes, and I don't think it's too serious on there, but when you have to a popular topic and it's on a huge spectrum, I think I might even have, I want to say 20K views on that video. So every once in a while I'll get some hate there, and of course across my entire playlist I'll get some hate. People come in and just talk shit, and for the most part I ignore people. When you see me I'm making an actual video response, or it's not even really a video response to one person. What it is that I've made a video that is a lot of people have made comments about that subject, and then when I actually make a video addressing that subject directly, then I'll have 2 or 3 more people who come in, and a lot of times they'll try to poke holes in what I've said, and sometimes they're kind of successful. I can see a different angle they're coming from. So when I make a follow-up video to something like that, it's just because I'm trying to fill in those holes or address that situation on a broader spectrum for everybody to see, the details of what exactly it was I meant or what I was trying to come across as. Now, the whole thing about being the bigger man is and that walking away is I do ignore a fuck ton of comments. If I were to make a fucking response video directly for any time somebody was going to say something to me, it'd be pretty much a 1-for-1. I would have 400 some videos right now, because every time I'd make an upload, I'd be making a response to some asshole who said something different. All right. So that's not to touch on anything against the party line. So that's just, talking about why I do my responses in partial. Now, the reason why I go ham and shit sometimes is because that's just, man card in this area. Even since well before I got into the army and shit, I had close friends who told me you're not going to do good in the army because you don't like people telling you what to do. So I've had a problem with authority since I was in fucking middle school, right? I don't like people telling me what to do, and the older I got, the stronger, the more I got, free and emancipated, the less shit I'm willing to take for people. So when I talk about I block people and I don't even listen to them, the reason why is because what would I do in a real life situation if somebody were to talk shit to me like that? I would either thanks, Joe. I would either, 1, walk away and not listen to this fucking person anymore, or 2, I would talk shit back and then see where it goes from there. We either eventually gets to the point where I can see the back and forth not going anywhere and I walk away, or a scrap happens, whatever. I'm not gonna let somebody just say some shit to me and silence me, because I'm a fucking grown ass man. and you know, I'm not gonna for me, sometimes I feel like I have to address it because I'm not gonna be fucking, you know, I can't be fucking punked. You know, I'm like, nah, that's just not gonna fly. You know, the only person that gets away with talking shit to me and I do absolutely nothing about is my fucking wife. And that's just the nature of the game with that one, guys. Nothing I can do about that. Wife starts talking shit, no matter how much I want to do something about it or how much I want to walk away. In the end, it's useless because I'm right the fuck back in because this is where I live. Can't do anything about it. But anybody else, absolutely not. Not having that shit, not playing that fucking game. All right. So, so what got to that one shit where I'm cursing on there and talking about the fucking, you know, having a crack in my arm from a fucking, was obviously a scratch. What happened was there's a Honda mechanic in California who commented on my rebuild versus buying another engine type thing, and he made a long big old speech about, you know, sending it to a machine shop or whatnot. And I was like, whatever, dude. You know, and when I reference the French Canadians, because on one of those videos, this guy named a French Canadian soldier or a freak French Canadian soldier, something like that, came in on comments and talked to me, you know, about how I should fucking let people speak because this is a free country and all that shit. I was like, first off, motherfucker, I'm not a politician, all right? I don't have to let you speak in my fucking venue. And most of the politicians, if you start getting too crazy stupid with the comments, anyway, what do? They throw you the fuck out. You know, so yeah, freedom of speech, but I also have the freedom to not fucking listen to what you're saying, all right? So when I mentioned the French Canadian guys, that's the guy I'm talking about. And eventually I had to mute him too because he just wasn't gonna fucking lay off it. Yeah, purple power. So anyway, here then what the other guy, this mechanic, the Honda mechanic guy, is telling me, he's like, I built 400 engines and all that shit. I'm like, okay, good, whatever, dude, good for you. If that's the way you like to do things, that's fine. So I let it be. But then I could see in other videos he started commenting like kind of regular on my other uploads, commenting not confrontational or whatever, just trying to make conversation. But I'm a little salty because you know, the comment he already made. So I'm like, fuck this guy. He's already coming in. His very first comment on the channel is fundamentally disagreeing with everything I have to say, but then trying to make normal chit chat here later. If you're like a 400 engine building Honda mechanic and whatnot, why the fuck you need my opinion or care about my opinion or want my opinion? Obviously you think you're better than me anyway, so why the fuck are you here? So I was like, nah, dude, I'm not making small talk with you after you fucking commented that, so I'm just gonna ignore it and carry on doing what the fuck I'm doing. Well, I guess that he could see in the comments I'm reacting to and commenting back to other people, and I think he got a little bit salty about that, the fact that I wasn't answering him. So I made the video, and this is the funny thing, guys. I'm making this video where I'm literally sawing material out of this fucking block, right? Literally cutting up to, I do in a mill. I'm literally cutting the fucking block, and what is it that people focus on? That's fine and dandy. I'm cutting the whole, big ass chunks out of the block, no problem there. But you see a shadow of a sliver that's the size of a hair. Like, bro, that's a fucking crack, you stupid piece of shit. This is why, and he goes into a long rant about. A long rant about why this is why that nobody is people building an engine that don't send it to a machine shop shouldn't be touching an engine. So I'm like, at first I didn't realize what exactly he was talking about, but whatever, that's not the point. So I'm getting into it. I'm like, first off, to address that situation, you're not sitting in front of the engine block. You don't see exactly what I see, and imperfections in the casting are common like that. And yes, there are a lot of common crack looking scratches or raises even in the block, all up in there. So I ignore them, of course, because I'm right in front of it. I see it. If it was a fucking crack, there's definitely a distinction between a crack and a scratch, no matter if the crack is thin or not, and I'll see that. All right. So in his spiel, I'm like, and I eventually confronted him based on what he said before and what he said in that comment. I'm like, dude, inspecting your block, checking for damage, checking for clearances and all that bullshit is the biggest part of the engine building. That is the most complicated shit about your engine building. So if you feel like you have to send your block to a machine shop every time, and your main reason is to check for brakes or clearances, then the biggest, hardest, most difficult part of the build you're doing away with. I had a kid once upon a time tell me, can you gap my rings for me? Can you do this? Can you clean my block? All that shit. And I was like, so I cleaned his block and prepped it for him. And then he came back and he's like, so do I have to gap my rings for boost and shit? I'm like, yeah, you need to. He's like, so can you gap your rings for me? I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought you were going to build your own engine. He goes, yeah, I'm going to build my own engine, but I didn't say anything about gapping the rings. I'm like, that's part of the process, dude. If you're not going to gap it, or if you want me to gap it, that means I need to take your pistons from you and your rods, drop the rings in there one at a time, measure the clearances, and then cut them and put them on there. I was like, so what do you want me to do? You want me to take this shit for you, gap it, ring your pistons, and give it back to you so you can compress the piston, put it in the hole, and torque the caps down and say you built the engine? It's like, nah. I was like, nah, that's not even the engine building, really. So if this guy's telling me I'm an experienced mechanic, 400 engines, I send out all these engines to be rebuilt, and then so pretty much at the end of the day, all he's doing is compressing, clocking rings, compressing rings, dropping them in the hole, and torquing it down. That's literally the easiest part of the build process. So what he's telling me is he's not really a serious engine builder, because anybody can do that. Any basic fucking guy can clock rings, compress rings, put them in a hole, and torque them down. So all the extra shit that I don't do, or that I do, that's the hardest part of the build, and he's skipping for all that to that, and then telling me I'm not an engine builder because I don't send it to a machine shop. So I'm like, no, dude, no, I think I'm more of a builder than you are, because I'm not scared of doing, the necessary checks. And again, I'm not saying that sending your shit out to a machine shop isn't a good thing. That's a great thing, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be done. Yes, it makes things easier. It makes things a lot easier. But it also costs you money, and that's, if you really want to do the engine, you got to do the whole thing, and you shouldn't be sending it to a machine shop unless you find that you have clearance issues. Like if you know that you got too much taper, your bore is done or whatnot, then you need to send it out if you don't want to buy another block. That's understandable. I understand that. Or deck is a little bit too warped, and whatever the reason. If you're inspecting your block and you find a legitimate reason to send it to a machine shop and that's what you want to do, then go for it. Me, I prefer to buy another block, but you can't tell me that you have to absolutely send your shit out to be machined every single time. Hey guys, just to let you know, I'm getting close to the end of my story here, and the comments are going by pretty quick. So I'll let you know when I'm answering questions, and then you can start answering your shit again, so you save you from retyping, because I don't feel like going back through scrolling back through the top. All right, so anyway, that's, so from time to time when somebody fucking goes on and they make a comment like that, I feel like I have to address it. I have to address it. And if it's serious enough, then I'll address it in a comment or make it in a video. The reason why I put that, that 20-second video out there about the crack in the block is because he wasn't the only person that said that in the comments. And I don't know when the fuck I'm going to run this engine. So I don't want that to be something in the back of in people's minds for months to come that, it's cracked, and then I'm just ignoring it or whatever. Because also, if I ignore it, then that could mean the fact that I didn't see it, and and that people may think he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Yeah, I fucking know. I know what the fuck you saw, and I know that it's not what the fuck you think it was or whatnot. So yeah, that's why I made that comment. And from later on in the future, I will continue every once in a while to make it. I made some references on Facebook here that if you haven't seen, you should go back. It's kind of early in the page. I haven't posted a lot recently. One is about Bill Burr. Bill Burr was doing, if you don't know about his little stand-up routine real quick, he went to Philadelphia or whatnot, and it was a big stand-up comedy group. It was a bunch of different guys that came out to perform, and he was like the last act. And there was a bunch of famous comedians, and they were just getting booed off stage. People in the crowd were being assholes. So he's like, fuck that. I'm not going to skip out on my bit, because these guys are being dicks. I'm getting paid anyway. I'm fucking going out there. And what he did, instead of going out there and doing his bit, he just fucking cussed everybody out in the crowd, fucking talk shit to everybody, talk to them all like they're dog shit. And that's how I feel from time to time. I'm not going to fucking ignore it or, just let it slide off my shoulder. Sometimes enough hate in one area is strong enough. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to go in. I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say, and y'all can suck my dick and kiss my ass. And if you got a fucking problem with that, then goodbye. I want the people here on a regular watching my shit that are down with what I normally do. I don't want to fucking put on a fake persona or change who I am and then have like a mass leaving later on when I eventually just pop off. All right, so that's one thing. And another thing too is if you haven't watched the man, go watch that video on my fucking Facebook. It's a minute and a half. The video is called The Cussing Pastor. He's actually pretty famous. I've seen him pop up before and other shit. And he's a real ass dude. He's like, because I'm real here, man. This is what I do. He goes, yes, I say bad words, but what I do for good things. So yeah, I say bad things from time to time about people. I'll call them a fucking bitch or a cunt because those bitches or cunts deserve to be called bitches and cunts from time to time. So but at the same time, I'm like one of the nicest dudes in the world. If you're not confrontational with me, if you're not trying to fucking step on my goddamn toes and tell me I'm stupid or whatever, I'm the nicest dude in the world to talk to. I talk to everybody. I've literally talked to some of my subscribers. I'd had a 4-hour conversation with one guy one night. Like while I'm doing other shit on my computer, and I'm talking back and forth, dude. I don't care. I'll have long conversations with you as long as it's not super repetitive, basic shit that I haven't already covered. We can have a shit chat, back and forth about different things or whatever. I'll give stuff away for free from time to time when I can. It's just stuff like that. I'm the nicest dude in the world. So for you to fucking get to the point where I'm calling you a stupid cunt, then you probably are a fucking stupid cunt. So yeah, that's just it about that. So yeah, I think that's it. That's the reason why I say the things I say from time to time. That's the reason why I say the things I do from time to time. The fact that I am a grown ass man and the things I've experienced in life is what makes me how I am, and I'm not gonna a lot of shit I will let ride, but there's sometimes I will stand up and get in your fucking face and talk some shit about it. So that's it. That's the reason why. So for you guys are considering why the fuck I don't let shit roll off my shoulder, this is the reason. Alright, so now I'm open for comments and questions. Whatever you want to say, bring them on. I think I got about a good 15 or so minutes that I can talk before I have to take off. Well, thank you, Colton. And I really think that this channel is kind of unique, man. Like I kind of a long time ago, I got pissed off when somebody told me I should stop my stupid fucking vlogs or whatnot, and just shut the channel down. I'm like I'm not a fucking vlogger, fuck you, but I am a vlogger, and I think that not only am I good at a good vlogger, but I'm also an informative one, and I think it's kind of hard to repeat the kind of way that I relay information. I've watched a couple people who've tried, and I realized that. Even my shitty ones, I think, are pretty fucking good. Yeah. The D16, I think that I'm gonna shoot for 450 at most. If I break 400 in that, and I know I can with the right turbo and injectors, then I'll be fine with that. My idea, if I keep that, is to put it in a sedan and have it as a daily. So I'm not trying to go balls out with it. David Clark, what was it? Are you talking about okay, hold on. Anyways, a short video on your opinions of these all drop versions have been popping up. Yeah, I actually have dropped my opinion somewhere. It might have been in a previous live stream. Somebody mentioned about all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. As I've mentioned before, I like to let the other guys, the geniuses, go out there and pioneer these things, and then I'm completely fine to follow in their footsteps. I think that we're seeing a lot more of this mid-engine Civic conversion, and we're seeing a lot more of these all-wheel drive conversions, and I am a fan. And once it gets to the point where they're normalized, I might even attempt it. So yeah, there's that. And I think I'm starting to lag a little bit. Are you still with me? But anyway, because of the fact that I like to let the Lewis and Clarks of the automotive world discover things, if I ever do something like that, it won't be for a long time. B Series has all-wheel drive conversion from the CRV, and the K Series also has an all-wheel drive. Yeah, the wagon, and I think it's either the CRV or maybe that other SUV thing that has that. Chris, no, I haven't. Like I've mentioned before too, it's really hard for me to find shit. So, because I don't have a lot of time, and a lot of my free time is UFC bullshit. So feel free to send a link. Case use from the Element all-wheel drive. Yeah, the Element. There you go. What's up? Okay, so I guess we'll go through out here real quick. Just a little bit of information. A guy like 3 or 4 months ago, like back when I was fucking with my truck, asked me if I wanted a full K28 swap. I was like, oh fuck yeah, I want it. He's like, well, you can have it. You just gotta come get it. And he lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's like a 380-mile, 6-hour drive for me. But I'm definitely down to go. And the main reason why is because of fucking transmission. I really want it. So we talked about it back and forth, and I'm willing to make the trip down there and just break down, swap a little bit, and put it in the back of my trunk. So if everything goes smooth and the weather holds or whatnot, I might be going down there, not this weekend, but the weekend after next to get that. And if you're curious, the next question is, when are you going to do a K? I am also in the works of seeing about getting that in motion, or getting that build done. What the plan is right now is I'm going to break down the K28 I have out there still, and get that one and break that one down, take the cranks out of them, and probably see if I can sell them. And if I can make enough money between those two, buy a K28 crank, and then buy rods, and then pistons are going to be expensive, and then buy pistons. And the goal is to squeeze as much power out of that thing on pump gas as possible. And I'm hoping for 500 plus. But I want to be able to drive this car all the time. So E85 is not something I want to do unless when I go back to Florida, I'm close by and E85 is readily available. So yeah, that's a future plan for K. I like the J swap, and that's also something I want to do. I do. There's not many that I don't like engine swap wise, and I have a lot of plans for a lot of engines, and I want to try out everything. And hopefully, as the money starts to increase, I can do this shit a little faster. I really want to do an H22 or a G23, a K20, a K24, J35. Yeah, there's a lot of different ideas that I have running around in my mind, and it's just about how long it's going to take me to get to a G22 is a no-go for me. Why? Ask me why. Yeah, the K24 is the best block in the K series, because unlike the problem you have with the K20A3 and the K20A2, you don't have the issue where you have to buy another crank to get the good rods. The K24 crank is like universal, so you can use K24A2 pistons and rods on that same crank. So all you gotta do is pull out the pistons and rods and put K24A2 pistons and rods right away, and you're good to go. So that's personally my favorite K. Intake sticking out of the hood. You can get different positioning. You don't have to worry about intake sticking out if you're talking about the K24. Great Moose. Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about the K20, but I've seen enough successful people that it's something I want to try and do. I'm not for an easy thing to do, but I'd like. Yeah, I think I agree. Also, I have the H22 head, guys, and once I get back down to Florida, those F23 blocks are like $100. I'll grab one. That's gonna be one of the early builds. I'd like to try and do it a year actually. Right now, our W2s are out. I'm getting ready to send it to my guy down in Florida, and we're gonna see how much money I can get, and see how back down to Florida this year. Colton, I don't want to lie to you about the supercharger there, so I really don't know. I would try the OBX ITBs. I think OBX are probably the cheapest sets you can get out there. I would be willing to try them. Oh, in my opinion, like on performance overwise, I think that definitely higher on performance than your regular intake or regular setup. It's been shown already. There was a guy who had ITBs, and he picked up like 10 or 15 horsepower just by taking the protective screen off the ITBs. So that goes to tell you something. Moose, yeah, a lot of people have Ks except me. I've never had one, so that's why I want one. Plus, they're capable, and the G goes to power NA, which is why I'm very intrigued by that too. Uh, G23 versus G22. The G23 takes stuff out of the K series, man, and the G22 isn't. That's why you have more options with the 23 than you have the 22. I thought that was kind of an obvious thing, but there you go. That's the reason why I will never fuck with an F22 block if I have the F23 to go off of. Plus, I'm pretty sure the F22 you need to press fit pistons and all that, and sleeve. I don't remember the F23 does not have FRM sleeves, and they have floating wristbands that match with the K series. So it will definitely always be my go-to. I'll never do a 22. Yeah, I couldn't tell you whether you need OBX intake manifold reviews or not. I don't know. I envision myself eventually having a NA K24 that possibly has ITBs. Yeah, I'm probably going to do the ITBs because I still want to stick with pump gas. I really want to get as much as I can out of pump. So I'm thinking about what my future K24 build will be: K20 A2 head, K24 block, 12.5-to-1 compression, ITBs, full bolt-ons, and I think I can get the high 200s out of that. I don't know about the balancer shaft the Z3, man. As super in-depth as I haven't put my hands on one besides the K20A3. It was just, I was just fucking with the block. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could agree with Zay on that, or Z. It would make more sense for me for the supercharger to net more compression than just the fucking stroker setup. Honestly, guys, like I know that supercharger video I made a long time ago doesn't get a lot of hits, but I will, unless I get a donated supercharger, dude, I don't think I'll ever run. You know, like I find them big enough to make big enough power on the Honda, like you do the V8 world. Oh, that's cool. There you go. Chris just put up the information there for the ITBs. The modifications you have to do is block or vacuum block to feed map and IAC if you run an IAC. There you go. Z's got some more information behind that. Yeah, honestly, Moose, I like, it came up in comments again the other day. Somebody asked me what compression, you know, for boost and whatnot. But I've said a long time ago before in multiple videos that I like close to stock compression. I mean, like, if you're going to go for super high horsepower, then definitely drop it. But if you're going to stay under 500, I like close to stock compression because you get a snappier response. You don't need as much boost. And my argument for that is there's plenty of guys out there on stock blocks making good power. So why not keep stock compression and have stronger parts and make the same power? So yeah, I like close to stock. That's why a lot of people ask me what compression should I run. I was like, as close to stock as you can get, unless you're going for big ass power. Like you're going for big ass power, of course, the compression ratio. Thank you, Mr. Louis. Yeah, now that I see that I can give you guys a heads up on when I'm gonna do live streams, I think I'm gonna double tap that. I'll give a heads up on social media several days out or a day or two out, and then I'll post it up like an hour or so or 2 hours. And I think I'll be doing live streams on the weekends at nighttime, so that way everybody has a chance to see it. I'll put it at a good hour, like 8 p.m. Eastern, so that way it's not, you know, so that way you can get it in there during for your PM or for your West Coasters. I don't know. Like I know I can see that I'm lagging pretty bad here, man. Normally, when I've live streamed before, I didn't have continuous lag issues like this. I'm streaming off my phone because this computer is weak sauce. I can't get the mic to work. No, it's probably on your end, Moose. It probably is me because I see that I'm lagging pretty hard sometimes. Um, what I could, this is a regular thing. I'll grab one of my newer laptops that has a camera on it, and I'll try to go off of that, so that way the live stream won't be difficult. No, you don't need an oil catch can. I mean, like it's one of those things where it's not bad to have, but it's not necessary to have. Like I'm deleting the one on the LSV right now, and I'm gonna delete the one on the back of the B18 also. I damn sure am continuing on with putting that B18 in my Integra. I'm just gonna get the LSV just to start it and break the rings in. As soon as that's done, I'm gonna buy another cherry picker, pull that motherfucker out, and put the B18 in. Now, also, as another heads up, I'm gonna. Jesse Martinez hit me up. He showed me the box that's labeled and it's on the truck. So that means my stuff from my rods and stuff should be coming in soon. Hopefully in time for the weekend. And so that means I need to finish the seal cam. All the complicated stuff's done. I just need to go over and clean it again. So I should be finishing that and mounting the B18B on the stand this weekend and getting to the Nippon CSS block. No, you don't have to do oil squirters. I think I might have even made a separate video at one point in time on that. I'm not 100% sure. But one of those things where you don't have to have them. I plugged mine in the LSV. Yeah, oil squirters are there to help cool the piston's rods. They literally shoot under the skirt of the piston as it comes down. I mean, like I moved mine because to do, or no, I did. I might not have deleted them on this because I have a straight GSR. I forgot. It's not an LSV in the Integra. It's a straight GSR. It's just got LS cranking rods. But when I made the LS with the GSR internals, or what the fuck was it that I did? I know I did a goddamn block that I had to get rid of the squirters because it was gonna hit. Honda, as far as Honda goes, I think that they still use, no, they for sure still use oil squirters in the K20 A2 and shit. I mean, like I said, the idea is fine and everything. I just, it's not 100% necessary. I know I've even heard people complain that oil squirters on a super high revving engine could fuck shit up because the fact that the oil temperatures from the squirters aren't as high as temperature in other parts, and they could crack a piston and whatnot. Anyway, I just don't think that the oil squirters are make or break for your build. Okay, on B series. As far as I know, well, the Doc VTEC, I think all have oil squirters. B16s have them, the GSRs have them, and I know the Rs both have them. So yeah, Doc VTEC, oil squirters. Z, were you the one that recommended me that fucking boost video about discovering what boost theoretically makes power on what turbo and whatnot and how? Yeah, I mean Civic Mr. 87109. That's that's the purpose of the. I never shim, never will. It's just not something I see like as a huge fucking gain for. So, like I've seen some people like I've seen a lot. It comes up the most in single cam conversation, which reminds me of a video I need to make about single cams. And it's like, oh, shim the oil pump. You have to shim the oil pump. Motherfucker, you don't. You don't have to shim anything. Just use a fucking oil pump. Stock oil pump is fine. I like I'm saying, I mean, like some of these things are tricks that people have used, and then like a lot of problems with a lot of things on the internet. One person does it that's like a badass, reputable shop, and they're doing it for experimentations, and then see you later, man. And then like a whole bunch of people on the internet see, well, if these guys did it, that's what you have to do, and that's not necessarily the case, man. You don't have to fucking to do that just because they did. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I'm just saying you don't have to do it. That's what I don't like, man. I don't like when people drop information and they're saying this is what you have to do, or no, you can't do that. Give me a reason behind why you have to or why you should. You know, I need to see some reasoning behind it, and then even then your reasoning got to be kind of sound too. I don't want to hear just like, well, that's just the reason. You just have to. Nah, nah. I guess that plus that goes to show the difference between somebody who really knows what to talk about or just regurgitating information. That's cool, man. I want to get to tuning eventually. I think that when I get to Florida, I should have enough cars and enough space where I can do that. I'm not going to do that with only one car, and I'm probably going to build a stock block, fresh stock block or whatever, and test it and play with it and see what I can do. But I'd eventually like to tune myself, not because I don't trust the tuners I'm around, or not because I'm too cheap to spend the money, but just because of the fact that I want to be able to do everything. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Bio. If you're gonna throw out some information, you gotta give me a sound reason for it. And a lot of the reason why I call some of these people dumbasses is because their sound reasoning behind it. Because they'll give a reason is not valid. I'm not sure if changing the noise made from the LMAs. Did you use aftermarket LMAs or stock ones or what? Well, Z, if you can figure out a way to call me, then go ahead. I've had Carlos called me once. I answered. I think he was more surprised than anything because once I actually answered the phone, he was just kind of like, I don't like to give my phone number out, but like I said, there are more ways than just a phone number to get a hold of me, on the phone. So if you can figure it out, go for it. Agree to disagree on the State Street VTEC. The State Street VTEC is garbage, bro. It doesn't add power. In fact, you can disagree all you want to. If the bottom end bearings are worn because causing the oil pressure, you can shun it to give live for a few minutes. Keep live for a few minutes. I like that. Okay, there's stock. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure that changing the viscosity is going to change the ticking. It could be worn unless you just recently replaced. Adds low end power, motherfucker. At the end of the day, your overall power is gonna be the same. So if it adds low end power, then what you have is a scenario like a muscle car versus the Honda. That torque gets you the jump, but then me goes the top end on power. All that matters is the power you got on top, not that low end torque. Unless you're on a super small track. That's the only time it matters. So what's the case there, Moose? Are they new or old? Then it might be time to replace the LMAs. I know the B16 in particular has a bad habit of the LMAs wearing out prematurely, but it doesn't mean that the LMAs on other engines can't. As far as how hard or how much of a pain in the ass it is to change those, I couldn't tell you honestly because I haven't done that job. Me personally, I just live with the ticking. I was like, oh, LMAs are making noise. Fuck it. All right, cool. Then yeah, and your LMAs making noise isn't going to cause any kind of problems. It doesn't cause any damage to your engine. And once I found that out, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Let it tick all at once. Okay, there. See, there you go, Colton. There you go, my man. Colton's out here. He's figured you a more power, a more even power. And yeah, there are some people who like to nip. That's justifiable. Me, I don't care. Yeah, well, Moose. Yeah, I mean, the only way he's gonna get around it is to replace the part. I don't think changing oil viscosity is gonna make a difference there. If your oil viscosity is so thick to the point where it's not gonna allow it to tick anymore, then wow, I think that's borderline sludge. Yeah, well, okay, cool. Yeah, so just tell him if he really wants to get around that, he's gonna have to replace it, and I don't think it's gonna be a cheap job if he goes to some. I guess at that point, Z and Colton, the only thing would be to do. What's up, Jay? Is to would be to get dynographs of the same setups and see exactly where the lines are. I bet it wouldn't be much. It'd be different because yeah, it makes more power down low, but the power it makes down low is almost insignificant. Like bumping your compression 0.5, it's not gonna do anything. The only HTB kit I've ever had my hands on it was a QSD, and the only reason why I bought the QSD at the time, or my friend bought it, is because that was the only thing. Me, if I when I do H2B, because I probably will, is the next time I get one, I'm just gonna get a cheap one off eBay for like 400 bucks. That's cool. 4 years old. 4 years. It's good long time to keep the car. Well, that's too big. But thank you. The pulley's only this big around. Yeah, bad news. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, 220. It's probably stock with bolt-ons, huh? Yeah, that's about right. All right, so I got like another 5 or so minutes because I have to call into work and tell them I'm not coming because I have to go to court to take care of take care of a ticket. Lucky for me, Hillbilly Farmer Joe on here, he wrote the wrong dates and the wrong car information on my ticket. So when I called him this morning, they told me they're not gonna suspend my shit. I just have to show up with the ticket. It's not even court. I'm just gonna go talk to a clerk. Yeah, this guy, bro. I'd show you the ticket, man. It's fucking hilarious. The guy, he's like, you can see he scribbled shit out, and he put my car as like a Chevy Cruze when it's a Sonic and it says Sonic on the back. I don't know. It's not debadged. And then he put like my court date appearance was 16 January 17. So I'm like, yeah, this guy's retarded. You can't shoot time on the bro kid, which sucks. Handful of steel brackets for the same. I don't know anything about that kid at all. I've never even seen it. I just lost motion assembly bio. What's up, Roy? Yeah, I got lucky, Colton. I got lucky. Oh shit. Yeah, man. Plus, I got really lucky with the fact that the ticket's only like $170. Like, I haven't had a ticket that cheap in forever, man. Like, the last time I got it. Okay, so for tickets in Miami or whatnot, right? The ticket at 18, when I was 18 years old, the ticket I used to get and pay $130 for, that shit shot up to like 500 plus. They're not fucking around anymore. Oh, okay. It's an adapter kit with no plate. That's interesting. Interesting. Somebody, whoever just mentioned that a plateless adapter kit, DM me on fucking Facebook. I'd definitely like to look into that. I might make a video on it. Yep. Yeah, man. The tickets are expensive as fuck nowadays. EU Y7 intake. I've never seen a boosted Y7 intake. It's crazy. I'll try, Anthony. That's two different ways I've seen it spelled now. Anyway, also the main reason why I'm asking for a DM is not so that way I can find the link. It's just so I can remember, because later on I'm probably gonna forget about it. There you go, Z. Post a video, make a video, and I'll hit you up, get links or whatnot, or on my channel. All right, so do we have any last minute questions? It's 2 o'clock. If we don't have any more last minute questions, I'm gonna drop out and then schedule another live stream for next week. Yeah, you should, Jay. I got a lot of good stuff for the D series now, and I'm about to reshoot that video for my rod review for Skunk Tubes. I'm just waiting a little bit. Cool. No, I don't really know anything about Toyota outside of the 1J and 2J. And I don't even really know a lot about that engine, to be honest. Just its power capabilities. Z, as far as turbos, I go to whatever I can get that's cheapest. I don't have enough money to go get anything specific. Cool. All right, well, yeah, I'm definitely down to do more live streams. The reason why I haven't is because the last time I tried, it was like nobody was in it. Yeah, no problem, Bio. Yeah, so I used to do these more often. I think I had like 5 live streams I did before, and they worked all pretty well. Lasted pretty long. But just like I said, the very last one I tried, I got like no hits. I was there sitting by myself, so that's why I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna do any more live streams. But yeah, as long as we have a couple people in here and got conversation going back and forth, I'm definitely down. I'll schedule another one. Probably not for this weekend because it's gonna be really busy. We'll see. Just keep your eyes out. I'll talk about it when time comes. We'll do another one, guys. All right. Thanks for you guys hanging out with me and shit. Thanks for the questions and whatnot. If you're gonna make a video, send it to me when you're finished with it, and I'll share it around. And hopefully I'll remember, and I will look at that shit myself. I might make an upload later today if I'm not gonna be at work. Then yeah. All right, guys. So thanks for watching, and peace.